Welcome again to another edition of Louisiana Catalyst, the Link podcast show. I'm Deron Talley, Vice President of Louisiana Catalyst, here with my good brother, my good friend, Mr. Quentin Durr, our president.
How are you doing today?
Doing great, man, doing great. And we also have one of our founding board members, Mr. Richard Royal, who is also a financial guru. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Man, so glad to have you, so glad to see you. We always appreciate you and the work that you do. You're one of those hands that just keeps the wheel turning even when no one sees the face. And we just want to commend you, man, and thank you. And really just want to kind of bring to attention that every entity, every agency, every business, they need a Richard Royal on the team to get things done, not just to just get things done, but get things done at a quality, high level, at the professional level, and with the passion that you do it, man. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I've always been more of a behind the scenes, just keeping the wheels rolling, really working on the numbers. That's my specialty, so that's what I just stick to.
No doubt, man. Tell us a little bit about your experience, though, in working with numbers, banking background, but also, in Union Parish in the Formerville area. Just tell us a little bit about your experiences there.
Well, my background's in risk analysis, specifically financials, but and really, what business is not in risk analysis? Mm-hmm. Every business is constantly analyzing: do I need to expand here, contract there? How can I use my resources to leverage myself to where I can get to where I want to be, but not to the point where I can end this dream. So really, I like the background in risk analysis because that allows me to look at things from a different perspective, and it's not all sales, it's not all sunshine all the time. There's a lot of problems that are going to come up, and really how you pivot. I mean, look at us, Catalyst. We had everything rolling. COVID hit, caused us to stop, pivot, have to readjust. And let's be honest, what business did not have to pivot with COVID? And some are better now than they were. Some are still working to get there, and some have gone into a completely different direction.
Yeah, no, I'll say this. I couldn't do 90% of the things I do if it wasn't for this guy right here. Yeah. And then, with both of y'all, I couldn't do 100% of things because Richard's one of those guys. I'll speak on his behalf in this. When, like with Deron, if I say I got a dream, I got an idea, there's two people I'm texting first. There's Richard and then Deron and say, hey, what you think? And it's never about, it's like, all right, how are we going to do it, And it's important to have different people. We've talked about this before, having different type of people around you. I'm not good at what Richard does. That's not my strong suit. So us working together makes a very strong team. And then bringing in so all of our qualities combined, we really can complete our wheelhouse of the things we want to do. And I think that's what's made Catalyst be successful, especially in the last 6 months. We look at where we were 6 months ago to now. It's because we're finally starting to hit our stride, and all the pieces are starting to play. So, Richard, I appreciate everything because, once again, like I told him, we all got raises from that, we all got, I think, 20% raise for this job, which we were making zero, so we're still at zero. Yeah. So this is all volunteer, but having strong people, we've really been able to not just grow but build relationships, and Richard's been strong to help see different things and aspects that I'm not even going to look at. So I think that collaboration effort has definitely helped everything.
Yeah, no doubt. Rich, when I think about, even the age that we all are, none of us are, at the age of 40, but we've made so much difference in the communities that we serve, work in, and live in. And when I look at you and what you're doing with Union Parish Chamber of Commerce, top 20 under 40, for the work that you're doing. And you're not doing it in the metro area, you're doing it in the rural area, pulling a difference out of a rural area, helping businesses in the rural area. Walk me through a little bit of that.
Well, what really makes a difference for me is my family's from Union Parish, generations from Union Parish, and it's really that community has made my family and ultimately me who I am today. So, I didn't want to move away. I didn't want to just, walk away from that. I wanted to embrace the community and do what I could do to make things better, and which honestly is what we're all here to do. We are passionate about helping our communities, and it's our passion and our differences too that make things really work. I mean, if all three of us had the same personalities and same skills, well, Catalyst would have never gotten off the ground. But it's our differences and us all pulling together that has helped Catalyst grow, and then our connections to others. And together we're pulling this forward, and I'm really excited about everything that we have going and how we can help North Louisiana, because it's not just one area. We are North Louisiana, and we are together helping make it just a little bit better.
Those links, that I hear you speaking of, our relationship capital, your roots to certain areas and how they've grown and expanded out. That's what the whole show or this podcast is about, is finding those connecting points, and whatever it is that we're connected to, how can we strengthen that, grow from that, not just for ourselves but for those around us. Looking at what we're doing with here at Louisiana Catalyst, and the relationships we're building with institutions, with municipals, with small businesses, in any direction, north, east, west, south. There is no, we're only going so far. It's what else can we reach? Who else can we help? And I think that's the embodiment of you guys as founders, kind of coming together now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't cut yourself short there, Duron, because you're a founder as well. I mean, you've come in, set it on fire, and helped us really push this thing to another level. So I consider you a founder as well.
Definitely.
I appreciate that.
It's been real interesting, but one of the things in talking about different pieces and stuff. So, Richard's actually still actually a part of the marketing company as well, and so one of his strong suits, and we even do different stuff of team building exercise and going into one thing we've gotten into lately is going into like the escape rooms. And what I've found is going into those, you start really seeing where they're strong at and where their weakness is, and then from there I can apply that to the business world. And so I'm figuring out like, okay, like Richard's super analytical. If it's like a puzzle or a sequence, I'm like, hey, jump on this one. If it's audio or something like that, I'm like, hey, Landon, I need you.
Right.
And so learning those different parts, and then once you get that, chemistry and synergies going, it becomes easy now in the business world to go, okay, we got a new client. So, okay, like I know Richard's going to analyze it and just destroy it from a balance sheet standpoint and how this company operates and what their percentages are. And then he's going to be able to tell me just the information that I need to know. Because he knows don't kill me with too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm going to go...
information overload.
But give me those key indicators that allow me then to make other decisions from a strategy standpoint. And so how we are able to delegate that's been crucial. But then coming over to Catalyst, like him being able to manage our money and let me know where we're at, so I know whether we're kicking it into fundraising or are we good for a minute, or what does our expense control look like, because we have to operate like a real business as well, just a Catalyst. So it's been a strong partnership, and thankful for it. And without y'all guys, I know we would not be here. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Richard, what you've kind of made some moves. I know Richard was on the board with me at the Union Parish Chamber of Commerce. Now he has moved on to bigger and better things. Tell us a little bit now what you're doing now with the company you are and some of the services that they provide.
So right now I work for Business Alliance Financial Services in Monroe, which is really what we do is we provide banking third-party services to credit unions, financial institutions all over the United States. Wow. So all the way from Alaska to Florida and everywhere in between, we're there. Wow. Specifically what I do is stick to what I'm good at, risk analysis. So I go in, I evaluate commercial loan portfolios and look for ways to make improvements or meet regulatory requirements. That really, in a nutshell, is what I do, and that's kind of my strengths.
Right.
Now, as far as some of the things that I like to do outside of risk analysis is, I stepped back a little bit from the chamber, which allowed me to focus more on the Lake Commission in Union Parish. So I'm one of the commissioners for the Lake D'Arbonne, which is in Union and Lincoln parishes, and for a 15,000 acre lake, it's one of the largest man-made lakes in North Louisiana, in Louisiana, period. And really what that does for our area, I mean, not just Union Parish, but also Lincoln and Ouachita, it brings people in, supports businesses, families, communities. And really that's where a lot of my passion lies is, how can we make some of our natural resources better for the communities, and how can they last for generations? So really that's where my passion has lied in the last couple of years, and we made a lot of improvements and more to come.
Yeah. When you talk about what you do from a risk analysis standpoint, Rich, I mean, that's so important for us at Catalyst to be able to tell small business owners, entrepreneurs that, we have somebody, that does this, that eats and sleeps this thing. And so if your business isn't operating at a high level and you're not certain, you need to come see us at Catalyst. Let Richard sit down with you and have a conversation with you, because that could be the make or break point of your business. Is there a time window that you can kind of start seeing things, or when would you recommend a person start really looking at, is my business really in trouble?
If you wait to the point to where you start seeing problems, you've probably waited too long, honestly. So really, you need to take a look at your financials regularly. Just because there's money in the bank now doesn't mean that there'll be money there tomorrow. It's really keeping track of where your sales are, what you have coming in the door, what you have going out the door, and then potentially where there's leakages. Are there sales that are not closing? Are there expenses that are behind the scenes that you don't really pay attention to, but you have a lot of profits leaking from your account? So really, every business owner needs to take a good look at their financials, and really it's when you see something that just don't look right, you're not sure whether it's whether it's normal, or whether this is just a different patch that we're going through, or maybe there's something there. Question things. It's always great to run your questions by your accountant, your CPA, to see, hey, what's going on here? Are there potential tax liabilities that I'm not thinking about? And just having a second set of eyes on your financials, and really understanding, am I in the position that I want to be in right now? And more importantly, am I in the position now so that I can get to where I want to in the future?
Yeah, we talked about the importance of, and even talking about trying to figure out how to create something of like a second look. So if you're a small business owner and you want a second pair of eyes, that we can offer that service. I know we're looking into that, because it is like, I've seen too many small business owners, or even companies in general, fold that were profitable, but because the cash flow was an issue.
Right.
It happens. You can literally make money and not be able to pay bills.
That's right.
Because you have not recognized the income yet, because it's a billing cycle, or your account payables are too far out versus what your accounts revenue, your accounts receivable versus payables, that whole deal, So,
Richard's world.
Yeah, Richard's world, yeah. I just know money in the bank means you can pay bills.
Yeah.
So it's knowing your cash flow analysis is crucial. So having a Richard is important. One of the things that we're looking at Catalyst is expanding into Ruston and now Union Parish. And so I think this table represents why, because I live in Ruston, Richard lives in Farmville,
Yeah,
Duran's in Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to have our influences in each market really is going to allow us to see things that most companies can't do.
That's right.
You know, so what's happening in Ruston, Farmville, Monroe, across the state, we can kind of keep our, you know, our thumb on things, keep the pulse, you know, and be able to create a model that's pretty much like the Anytime Fitness of business.
That's right.
You know, and with the podcast services. So if you're a regional type player and you need a business model where you need an office in a couple of different cities, then your membership with us fits that mold perfectly, and gives you access in different points. We even talk about certain attorneys if they need closing, then being a part of us allows them to not have to take on full expense of a full office, but now they can book our conference room and close their deal in a different city. So there's a lot of different benefits of what Catalyst is trying to do and bring, and a lot of this section of our podcast is about bringing our board members that are on board, what are we trying to do, and give an introduction, because normally Richard would be not wanting in the limelight, right? He would not want, you know, but I thought it was important, me and Duran both thought, like, it's important to let people know who is driving this and what players are in position and what we're trying to do and the knowledge and resources that we do have.
That's
so
right. Yeah, from an administrative level, when people look at our board, they see the skill set, they see the expertise, the experience that we all come with our own level of credential. Even before we start connecting you to other resources and information we have, you can come here, right here in these, you know, areas, and get a lot of your questions answered before we have to hand you off. And I think that should bring a level of comfort to the people we're going to work with, to the lives that we're going to change, is that Duran may already have the answer. Quentin may probably already have seen that or heard that. Richard probably got a case like that on his desk right now. I can just go direct. I don't have to go to them and then hope that they'll pass me down the chain. But, you know, my issue could be solved right there with them. You know, we love being that catalyst and being that link for so many. But, you know, us coming with our own levels of experience and expertise, it just adds value to it.
No, I agree.
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate you as always, Rich, for all your information, man, and just your service. A true grinder, you know.
Absolutely. Just
one of those guys, go get it out the mud, you know. And we appreciate you, man, the work that you've done, been doing, still doing in the community. And this may be the last time you guys see Richard, but you'll always feel his impact. How about that?
Thank you.
All righty.